Bueno, bueno, bueno. Hola. Tanya Lee. I'm an intuitive psychic spiritual counselor, physical medium, remote viewer, automatic writer. And hello, hello, hello. If you see the live button over in the left hand corner, that means that I'm live and you can interact with me. If not, then please just hashtag replay, and that just lets me know that you're watching the replay. How is everyone? Hello, hello, hello. How's everyone doing tonight? I haven't been on in a few days. Did you guys miss me? Let's see here. Just wanted to jump on for a little bit tonight. How's everyone? Hey Peggy, hey Lisa, hey Francis. Oops. Terry, Roxanne, Omar, Kelly, Esther, Brenda. Hey Brenda, Roxanne, Alaya, Lisa, Anita. Okay, I think I'm caught up. Terry. Oh, okay. Well, thank you for at least stopping in. Oh, well, happy early birthday. That's cool. New moon birthday. That's extra special. Let's see, let me go ahead and get my share so I can turn on the music, because I didn't bring that other device. So anyway, so everybody having a good week? How's everybody's week going? We have an extra birthday wish. Do an extra birthday wish. It's terrible. Your week's going terrible? No, don't say that. No bad weeks. Hey Judy. Alright, give me just a second, guys. I'm getting all situated here. I am going to be pulling some cards. I want to show you guys a new toy I got. I was blown away. It was a beautiful gift. And I've been sleeping with it, and I've been working with it. And I probably will gaze into it tonight just to see what I can see out of it. But I won't officially work with it until tomorrow after I put it in the new moon. But check it out. Is this not cool? It has a portal, some fractals, and some rainbows. And I can see clearly in here. It's a smoky quartz. And the first time I saw it, I was just really drawn to it, and I just stared at it for like 30, 45 minutes. me and it made a bond. And I'm not sure if she wants me to call her out, but a very beautiful woman got that for me and sent it to me, and I'm excited because, yeah, it was Jess's. But I mean, I'm going to be able to read with this thing. There's a portal back here. I mean, I really am. I've already been gazing into it and reading for myself. So I'm very excited. Winning lottery numbers. Those kind of questions right there will get you some bad karma, girl. You're not to use for gain like that, but can't sleep with yours. I have to sleep with it. I gotta. Oh, yeah. Teresa, bless her heart. She just. Did you fix that? Were you able to fix it? Okay. I hope you were able to fix that. She got a really beautiful Mother Mary. And it got broke. Sleeping with it. Oh. I was like, Terry, I hate to tell you this, but you can get a lot of bad karma for that one. Alright, so let me go ahead and turn on some music. But yeah, I'm excited. I'm going to put this in the moon tomorrow, and then I'm going to start reading with it on Saturday. I'll be off and on live all day trying to get reading on that. I'm excited because I know I'm going to be able to. It's already kind of called out to me. Does anybody else use anybody else scry? Do the scrying? Oh, thank you. Well, I was blessed. I did upload some videos, guys. I think I'm getting the hang of this whole uploading thing. Thank goodness. I'm so far behind on uploading to YouTube. It's not even funny. Yeah, scry. Scry, it is. It's where you can gaze into something. I can do it with like flame and smoke. But I've never done it with like a crystal ball or anything like that. So I'm very excited to try. Doesn't sound like it's going very loud at all. Okay. But I'm very excited because it's really beautiful. See the smoky quartz, and right through here, and here you can see clear as day, and then right here. This is awesome. Awesome, awesome. I am great. That's good. You want to kind of learn. Just kind of follow whatever your heart, your intuition tells you is right. Because there's a lot of crazy stuff out here. Just kind of go with what you feel is right. I know. Tomorrow, new moon tomorrow, 9 o'clock. New moon tomorrow. And if you guys aren't in the group, please go in there and make sure that you post at least 2 things that you want to manifest this new moon. It's going to be a powerful one. Oh, okay, Bianca. You know, I'm sorry you feel that way, honey. But actually, what I'm doing, people have been doing since the beginning of time. But I do love me some God and some Jesus, so. But you be blessed, my dear. Okay. Can't be hot or cold. It always amazes me when people jump to the conclusion that because I'm talking to angels, that it's got to be from the devil. They obviously don't know much about their Bible. Alright, so I've got my angels out, butterflies, love, and guidance. What I'll do is I'll just I'll start picking some people out here in a second. Unless, of course, you guys want to make a donation, then you can guarantee a reading. Yeah, don't even feed into that, guys. Hey, Christina. Yes. There's always, everybody has a right to their opinion. But trust me, if I didn't have the clearance from the old man himself, I would not be doing it. Because he's the last person I want to get upset. Yes, there is Cash App too. No, I haven't prayed yet. I guess I should have kept her on for the prayer, huh? Let's put our minds together as we... in the sky. I'd like to ask the 4 archangels, Michael to the south, Gabriel to the east, Ariel to the north, and Raphael to the west. Please put up your white light of protection around me and my circle. Our Father art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. Lead us not in temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the power and the kingdom and glory forever and ever. Amen. I ask that God, Jesus, the Holy Spirit, archangels, guardian angels, spirit guides, ascended masters, to please come forth and help deliver messages of light and love. I ask that all only messages of the greatest and highest good be brought forth, and if any spirit would like to connect, that they do so for the greatest and highest good, and that they leave the same way they came, and leave no physical imprints. I ask all this in Jesus' name. Amen. Alright, there we go. Okay. You can't hear me. Anybody else having trouble hearing me? Nobody's saying amen, so I think they got it. Alright, so what we'll do is I'm just going to pull out a couple people. And then if you guys want to guarantee a reading, you can donate. Okay. All right, give me an emoji. All right, thank you. All right, cool. Thank you, guys. Huh, I didn't change anything, Lisa. I'm good. Thank you for asking, Christina, and I hope you guys are doing good. There was somebody that I saw. Okay. Jane. Jane. The messages for Jane. The messages for Jane. Okay, trust. Trust. There's, I can't tell if this is a partner friendship or if it's just a friendship, but you having some issues with someone that you're close to, on a friend or a partner. It could be a partner, but if it's a partner, it's not that strong of a bond. Okay, I'll pull that up here in just a second. Just waiting on her to reply. Okay. Alright, well, I was trying to wait on her to reply. I'm not seeing her. No? Okay, well, you're going to. If you're not already, you will. I'm just told to tell you to remember that you've done the same. So when this situation arises, don't forget that you've done the same before as well. It's real important that we make sure that we're willing to forgive others, especially on things that we've done the same. Sometimes we can get to where, we've changed our ways and we forget what it's like to make bad, those kind of decisions, because now we know the importance of it and how it affects our karma and stuff. But not everybody else is on that same level, so just keep that in mind when you're dealing with the situation. If you're not dealing with it now, you'll be dealing with it before Monday. Okay. So we got Teresa, and then Odoana. I'm not sure if I said that right. Forgive me if I didn't. Okay. I want to catch myself on fire here. Go ahead. Teresa. Right now I'm doing paid readings. LaDonna. Alright, Teresa, give me emoji so I know that you're here and you're ready. Let me know you're here, honey. Okay. Ah. All right, first card is letting go. Letting go. So have we... I know that you're trying to work on these kind of things because I've connected to you several times. But I take it that we've been kind of slipping this week. Is that... Sorry. There's a spirit back over my nose. Is that correct, Teresa? I mean, you've been doing good with it, but a few slip-ups this week is what I'm getting. Kind of hanging on to... I'm feeling frustration. Remember that it's really important that we know that our feelings are just that. They're just feelings, right? We don't want those to turn into thoughts. We want to keep those separate. The problem happens when people combine them, right? When they allow their feelings to become their thoughts. We're sad, so therefore we think we're depressed. Don't be so hard on yourself because you've done really well. I mean, just because we slip up a few times doesn't mean anything, okay? We're going to do that. It's like getting back up on the horse, right? Okay, so we slipped up. Get back up there and do it again. Because nobody is perfect. Nobody's going to do this 100% of the time. But remember what I tell you guys. What do you need to do when your emotions and your thoughts and stuff just start going all over the place? What do we need to do? We need to go ground, right? So remember that. So when you start having those feelings come over you, then go and do that, okay? Truth. You're still seeking for truth. Just allow truth to come. Truth comes to you. You don't always have to go searching for it. Alright? It will come to you. And just remember that you have to accept the truth no matter if you like it or not. When we ask for truth, we can't pick and choose, I'll listen to that because I like that truth, or I'm not going to pay attention to that one. And we still need to be reaching out to the angels, which you're not really doing that much of. You need to do that more. I think I've advised you before. If I haven't, then I am now. Please go pick you an archangel. Go pick you an archangel that resonates with you. So that way when you do your prayers to God in the morning or whatever you believe in, you can also pray to the archangel. And our universal condom, if you put that on, that will help you with some of the emotions that you're feeling, because some of those don't belong to you. They're other people's emotions. And remember, we don't want someone else's bad mood or somebody else's crap or whatever they're going through affect us. We can empathize with them, we can understand them, but we don't want their emotions to become ours. So just don't forget to be putting that on. find, fix your bubble. But you are growing a lot. So, I mean, even though there's always stuff for us to improve on, we have to celebrate the victories too. So don't be so hard on yourself all the time. Celebrate the small stuff, because it's the little steps that get us further than the big giant leaps, right? Because when we do those big giant leaps, what do? We miss too much stuff, or sometimes we just fall on our ass because we're trying to jump too far ahead of ourselves. So, just those little steps, and be grateful and pat yourself on the back for those, because you're blooming, right? So that's good. And then the dark angel, we still need to be dealing with this guy, okay? This isn't going to go anywhere until you have done the inner work, okay? Until you've done the shadow work and the inner child work, this isn't going to go anywhere. It's going to stay there, because it has nowhere to go. It has nowhere to go until we deal with it. And even your butterflies are saying, watch your emotions. Don't let your emotions get too a hold of you. Don't let it overwhelm you. Remember, we just feel it and then we just let it go. And then you got the truth card again. So you've got two decks, same card, two different decks. So yeah, I'm told to stress for you about picking and choosing what truth that you want to believe. Make sure that you, make sure that you just know what the truth is, and then you can decide what you want to apply and what you don't want to apply. But for some reason, that's a very big thing for them to stretch to, for me to stress to you, is not to pick and choose what truth that you want to believe. Would you say, how do I do what? How do you work on it? That's stuff that you have to work with somebody on. Shadow work and inner child work is inevitable if you really want to get far in the spiritual realm, if you want to ascend and stuff, because we have to face our dark side, and we have to be able to control ourselves and bring as much of that to the light as we can. And the only way we can do that is to deal with the inner child, where all the stuff started getting messed up with at the beginning. So we have to make sure that we're dealing with the inner child and then doing the shadow work. That's one thing you guys need to be very careful about when you're out here shopping around for psychics or healers or whatever you want to, whoever you're looking for. Make sure that they're doing stuff in the right order, because if we go and we deal with your shadows and we're not dealing with your inner child, well then when do you think those shadows came to be in your life? When you were a child. Remember, I told you guys from, birth or in the womb up to 7, 8 years old, your mind, your conscious is being made at that time frame. So everything that's put in there is what you are focusing, or what you are living now. That is your conscience. So whatever was inputted into you, whether it's family or friends or just life, sucky things, it could be disasters, death, whatever happened during that time frame, because there's always something that happens to us. That's the reason why we lose our connection, because we're born with that connection. That's why kids can, they're laughing at things that we don't even see there and stuff, because oh, okay. But, just you guys be careful, because they have to deal with that stuff before they can do the shadow. Okay, yeah, actually, I have that on my site. Go ahead and message me, and then we'll take care of that. Okay, so We're going to face our truth, whatever that may be for you. We're going to learn how to deal with our emotions by just, not hanging on to them, not letting them to define us or become our thoughts. Because we're going to do this work right here, our shadow work, our inner child work, so we can keep on growing. And we're also going to work on, putting on our universal condom, our bubble, getting comfort from our angels, truth again, all so we can feel things and let them go and not let them dictate us. We keep in control instead of them being in control of us. Where is that on my website? If you go under booking services on my website, you'll see that's an Intent is Everything program. Now you can do it, that program, or you can just do it, by counseling sessions, whichever way you want. The Intent is Everything is a week program. So each week we get together. That's not cheap, but you do get 2 hours with me, and it's tailored to you. So whatever your situation is, whatever you got going on, it's going to be tailored to you. So it's not like this little check-off list of, well, does she have this symptom, blah, blah, blah. Here, it just doesn't, it's not like that. It's like, okay, well, what is her issues? Spirit will tell me what you need to do, what we need to work on. It's really a cool program. I enjoy it. But it is a commitment. That's for sure. I have to be committed. Alright, so we got... I hope that resonated, my love. I just lost the other person. I think that smoke out of mine. Yeah, LaDonna. All right, come here, LaDonna. Give me a emoji. Let me know you're here. Hey, Jeannie. All right, there we go. Okay. The here and now, my love, the here and now. Now, I know that life gets busy, right? We get so caught up in the hustle and bustle, and we got schedules, and we got deadlines, and we got this to do, that to do. I mean, there's always so much to do and not enough hours in the day. But if you don't take time out to appreciate a little something of each day, then what are you really doing? because tomorrow's not promised, and we've already finished yesterday, right? So even though it's good to be on this path in this certain direction that we're going, if we're not enjoying today, then, and granted there'll be bad days, we all have bad days, but we have to still be present in the day. And you don't do that much, so you need to work on getting more and more appreciation of just that day. Even on the bad days, find like 3 or 4 things to be grateful for. That's why I always start like my mornings with, prayers, and then at night my prayers are gratitude, right? Even on the worst days, I got up out of bed, or it didn't rain today, whatever. If I'm in a really, bad mood, then, it's like pulling teeth, but I'm going to find 3 or 4 things to be grateful for. So, but if you do that and you start writing it down, it's really good to go back and look at it, because that's where your joy is. Your joy isn't working for that goal, and you're down. I mean, even if you dig in the past for good memories, that's not going to bring joy. Joy is something you can only feel right here in the present, right? You can only feel it in the present. And from joy, all else falls. I mean, happiness, peace, tranquility, all that comes behind joy. But you're going to have to manage your energy. And with this, I mean, I know people get tired of me saying it over and over. Ground, protect, and meditate. But it's key. It's key to peace. It's key to balance. It's mainly key to balance, because otherwise you're going to be all over the place, and that's what you're doing now. So you don't have to do like this big drawn out. That's part of the problem. A lot of people just try to make this big production, right, of grounding, or this big production of meditation. Don't look at it like that. I mean, you can eventually work your way up to that, but for now, just go outside, take your shoes off, walk around, touch something that's alive, a plant, a tree, a flower, feel the air. And then meditation could be a shower meditation, could be 5 or 6 minute meditation, but something where you are flexing that muscle in your brain, so that way you can gain control of it and be able to shut it off. And the protection, that's your universal condom. So if you don't know much about that, please look in that albums in the group, because I talk about that quite a bit if you follow me. This is what's going to keep you going towards the light. Balance. So you can still have the future that you're planning, right? But you can still live for today and enjoy life as it is right now in this very moment. So that's your balance. And once you find that balance, then you'll be able to keep going towards the light, right? It's all about the journey, remember, because the destination, we're all going to the same destination. And that's death. So we don't want to hurry up and get to our destination. We want to enjoy the journey. Past life. I'm not too sure about past life as much as it is your programming that you had when you were younger. Is what I'm getting. The card says past life, but that's not what it's. Intuitively and spiritually, I'm not getting that message. I'm getting that, there's like high expectations on you when you were younger. Like you had this bar, this expectation, and if you didn't meet this expectation, it was devastating, and you still do that to yourself to this day. You got healing from the past. So we want to heal from that, okay? Because nobody's ever perfect, right? And you're going to let yourself down. You're going to let other people down. But as long as your heart's in the right place and you're not going around doing it maliciously, then don't worry about it. Allow yourself to be human and give yourself mercy and grace. It's important to give, not only yourself unconditional love, but you also want to have mercy and grace. If you can't give it to yourself, you can't give it to anyone else, right? Just like if you don't love you, you can't love me. So remember to don't be, laid back on yourself, but don't hold yourself to that high of a standard. Find that balance, because it's not helping you. And then that way you can release the past, okay? That way you can release those limiting beliefs that are trapping you, because you're just so consumed of like going that it's gonna rave havoc on not only you spiritually but physically over a period of time. So we're gonna work on releasing things from our past so we can let go of those limiting beliefs, because they don't serve us anymore. We want to keep going towards the light, but we've got to manage our energy. We've got to find that balance of, if you need to get up 10 minutes earlier or stay up 10 minutes later, but just take out, 15, 20 minutes out of a whole 24-hour period for yourself to manage your energy so you can bring joy in the here and the now. Feel joy now, not I'll be happy when I get. I'll be happy when that happens, because that's false. Because as soon as you obtain that, since you're not used to embracing, you're not used to embracing that comfort, joy. You're always used to chasing it. Even if you chase it and you grab it there, you're not going to be able to hang on to it because you don't know how to handle that. So you make something else out there and throw something else out there and throw something else. And then pretty soon, you have a life, and then you look back and you're like, shit, what did I do? I didn't spend the time with my family and my friends and different things of that nature that I really wanted to. So we don't want to get to that point. That was from Spirit there, my friend. How funny. It's funny when they get going, they just kind of take over the whole thing. You should check out I'm telling you guys, that program is awesome. You won't find another program like it. I can promise you that, because I created it. I created it so I could help, because that's what we're really supposed to be here for. I mean, yeah, I can read your cards and stuff, but at the end of the day, it's about you taking something with this information and making a better life for yourself. So that's what I'm really supposed to be about. So I'm very excited to do that kind of work. Okay. All right. Vasquez. Vinin. Please do, honey. And you're not set on a certain amount of time. The program's going to last as long as you need it to. So it's not like I'm telling you, okay, well, you're signing up for this 8-week, because you have to pay me each week for it, right? So I'm not going to say, okay, well, you have to be in this program for 12 weeks. No, maybe you need to be in it 12 weeks. Maybe you need to be in it 3 weeks. Maybe you need to be in it 7 weeks. I don't know. We'll know once we sit down together and go through it, though. I'll get an idea. Open up to the Holy Ghost and don't worry. All right. Ooh. No matter where I put that thing, it finds its way back to my face. Ooh. Control. Everything's so hot that you don't worry. Be happy. Okay. All right. Angel Whispers. All right. Now with Angel Whispers, this is when we start getting the ringing in the ears, or we're starting to see things. We see shadows. We can hear this little it's when our angels are trying to talk to us, right? But we're vibrating here and they're vibrating there, so we're not able to make it out. But I'm getting that you're at the very beginning stage. You're wanting to hear from your angels, but you're not at a vibration yet to do so. You're trying to push yourself really, really hard. I would be careful about how much you push yourself, because there's no right way or wrong way to learn when it comes to all this. It's just every person is different. So you can't judge how someone else's gifts open up. Well, remember that all the gifts were open when we were a child, and then things happen and then we close back up, right? So we've already had this open at one point in time. And so it's just a matter of tapping back into it. But you can't be harsh on yourself. You can't sit there and push yourself to the point where you are blocking your own growth. Okay? And that's what I'm getting that you do a lot of. So they're asking you not to do that. Because you're in a transformation stage right here. And if you look at the card, you see how she's breaking out of the cocoon. So in our transformation stage, it's kind of like where we're learning a lot of different things, and we're starting to see things about ourselves and different things that we want to work on and blah, blah, blah. You know, because the spiritual journey is about bettering your life, right? It's not just one day we wake up and then we're in this, peace and tranquility. That's not how it works. It's a lot of hard work. So you're going to have to allow yourself to go through that transformation and deal with the things that come up. And then light. So be careful, because all this is new. I always tell people when I feel this from someone, when they're new like this, is to be careful of what you're learning about, okay? So whatever you're watching or you're listening to, pay attention to how you feel as that's going on, as you're listening and stuff. Does it resonate with you? Do you feel secure? Do you feel anxious? Do you feel kind of triggered, or do you feel relaxed? Pay attention to how you feel, so that way you can pay attention to your cues from your higher self and your angels and spirit guides, because that's what our intuition is, right? And if you don't follow that, then later it's like, oh man, I knew not to watch that, or I knew, man, I wish I wouldn't have done that. I knew. It's when we don't listen to that things, right? But if we don't know how to listen to it, we can fall for anything in this realm. So please, please, please be very careful, because it's a fine line between light and dark when you're messing in this realm. Because as I can bring in the spirit, I can bring in someone's father and or mother or whatever, right? And we can talk with them. I can also bring in something bad. So you have to make sure that you are knowing what you're doing. So since you're learning, just kind of pay attention to how you feel. That's what I'm stressed to tell you. Because it's time for you to take the initiative it's time for you to really initiate. It's time to plunge in and really let's get some let's get some chakra work done. Let's get some things in balance. It's time for you to start walking down your path, so you can clear karma, because you've got bad karma and good karma. And remember, we want to keep that stuff clear, right? So that way we can have more come in. Hopefully the good, right? Because we don't really want to be having bad karma come through. But if that's what we're dishing out, then we have to take our bad karma and run, and just deal with it. But it's a lot of times people try not to deal with certain things, and then that's when bad things just out of the blue happen. And they're like, oh, I can't believe this is happening. It's because you didn't deal with the little bit of karma that was they tried to give you back there, but you kept pushing it off. Now, all of a sudden, it's a big one. So, that's why when you've wronged somebody or you've done something wrong, how important it is for you to hurry up and make amends with it. So that way, you can clear out that karma before it turns into something ugly. Also, we have good karma, so we also want to clear out good karma, so that way we can get more karma. Tomorrow is new moon, right? That's a good day for manifestation. Sobriety. So we're going to have a sober way of dealing with things, not like we've been using in the past. The different crutches and things that you use to deal with life and reality, you're going to have to step away from, so that way you can really and truly grow and it not be masked. And then relaxation. Remember, everything, it doesn't matter what anybody is doing or where you're at in your walk. It can't just be work. You have to have a little bit of love and play in there. That's why it's really important to work on the inner child, so the inner child can come out. Because if you've got an abandoned or an abused inner child, then you don't really know how to have fun in a secure and safe environment, because your child is like locked up. And we need that, because we need to play and have fun. Yes. Yeah. You've got to make a decision. Our inner child is a part of us that believes in magic. It's a part of us that, loves and has that childlike faith, like Christ tells us to have that childlike faith. That's our inner child. And that's why it's important for our inner child to be healthy, so that way we can let, because there's a time to play around and a time to be serious. But for the majority of us adults, we just stay in this serious mode so much that we've forgotten how to enjoy life. Yes, the people around you are important, okay? You can't control what other people do, but you can control what you're around. And if you're dealing with I want to say it has alcohol in both in there, that still affects you. So even though that person may be doing it, if you're around it and that's part of your life, then it's not the same as doing the drug or the alcohol yourself, but it's close, because everything that person's doing affects your life, and you don't want that, because it's going to keep you vibrating here. It's going to weigh you down. You're not going to be able to ascend. You're not going to be able to vibrate higher. It's like you're trying to vibrate, but you've got one leg tied down with a weight, and you don't want that, because people that tie on to us like that get desperate, and pretty soon they end up pulling us all the way down with them, and then boom, we're in the sea of piranhas, right? And we don't want that. Yeah, you gotta. Yeah. Drugs are a terrible thing, but unfortunately, people have to, learn themselves and make their own decisions when it comes to that. It pretty much gets to, it's when you get sick and tired of being sick and tired, right? So relaxation, we're gonna relax. We're gonna pay attention to those ones that are around us that shouldn't be. How important is it that they're around us? We're going to clear out some karma because we want some good karma coming our way. We're going to need to take some initiative, though, right? We need to work on our chakras. There's definitely some chakra surgeries that need to be done there, and inner child work. But as we're learning about this light and, this whole realm, we're going to learn how to discern. It's very important that you learn how to discern, because you're starting on this transformation, and once you start on a transformation, it doesn't stop. I mean, you can prolong it, and it could last, a transformation that's probably only supposed to last like 6 months to a year. You can make it last 10 years by, procrastinating and putting off, but you'll never get around it. You'll have to eventually do it, whether you do it willingly, or you do it on your deathbed, or you do it in the hospice, or you do it when you die on the other side, sooner or later. So the sooner the better. That way you can start hearing from your angels and getting your own messages. Because you only want to have, it's good to have a reader that you can come to all the time, but you don't need to be dependent upon a reader, right? You want to be able to get your own messages. So I hope that resonated. I would definitely work on getting some of those people around that are around you away from you, so they don't drag you down. Yes, Deanne, is she here? You're welcome. All right, Deanna Morris, give me an emoji. Let me know you're here, and then I can read you, my love. Okay, good. Are you sure you want to do it on the live? I mean, I can do it on the live. I can. Okay. These cards are going every which way. Alright, awareness. Awareness, Deanna. Awareness. Do we have, are there things within a relationship that we don't, oh, no, I'm sorry. I was talking to Christina. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Deanna. Yes. We don't have to do it. We're going to take a lot of time. No. I know. We're doing you, baby. I'm sorry. I wasn't Pacific. Um, it doesn't matter. Let me, okay, Deanna. Okay, we got something going on in the relationship. It's okay, honey. I can do it when I get done. We got something going on in our relationship. Are you fighting? Yeah, there's a lot of fighting going on. Okay, so we're doing a lot of fighting over material and how things should be done and all that good fun stuff that when somebody dies. This is like the worst part about, well, not the worst, but it's one of the craziest things about somebody's death. You really see how you really see somebody's true colors when somebody dies, right? When somebody dies, you get to see, that's when you see what kind of person they really are. I am 1 out of 4. That's the trouble. You guys are just going to have to, sometimes you just have to agree to disagree. Especially when you're dealing with death, because people get so emotional, and a lot of times people are not even thinking. They're reacting more than they're thinking. They're on reactive mode, right? They're just projecting every single thing that happens because it's such an overwhelming feeling, and that initial shock and everything else that kind of comes with it. But you're going to have to pick and choose what is worth fighting about. Pick and choose your battle. But you're becoming very aware of, I mean, this is going to change some of your relationships with some family members. Because you guys are still, y'all are still fighting. And I am getting that it's been a while. The one thing that death doesn't teach people, it can sure bring out their ugly side, but it doesn't teach, I mean, it teaches them this for like a short period of time, and then it's very fleeting. But that's the value of life, how valuable life can be, right? And how sacred it is. So fighting is not worth it, life. Okay, it's been a year. I felt like it's been a while. You're just gonna have to accept how they feel and what happened. I mean, you can't change it. That way you can get to balancing yourself, because right now the whole situation keeps you out of balance, and that's not good for your life and your immediate circle, right? Because you've got to, first and foremost, you have to keep yourself in balance for yourself, so that way you can enjoy life and not be miserable the whole time. And I know that grief is horrible. I get it. I lost my mom, then my husband, and then 5 months later my brother. So I totally get it. But it's okay to have happy days, and it's okay, it's okay to move on. We're not moving on from people. They're going with us. So moving on is probably not the right word to use. It's okay to live again. It's okay to live life, not move on, because you never move on. Yeah, live life again. It's okay to live life, but you're going to have to get yourself in balance without them. And if anything, you can lead by example, and maybe at least with two are going to watch and be drawn to doing what you're doing, so that way they can have some peace as well. Get back to believing, get back to working on your dreams and your desires and the things that are important. Get back to living your life. Your dad's right there with you. He's not going to go anywhere. In fact, I mean, that's what he wants more than anything, is to have you live your life and do some, because he can be right there. The one thing about, our loved ones can help us now more than ever before they could alive. They can help give us, they can help guide. They can't be a spirit guide, because that's not how spirit guides work. But they can be on your spiritual team. Remember, I tell you guys, you all have a spiritual team, and they can be on that. You have ancestors. You've got family on your spiritual team that you've never even met. You don't even know. But they want to see you do the very best in life. This will lead to an awakening. But in your awakening, you got to remember that things get really tough in awakening. It's not roses and unicorns and marshmallows, right? It gets really, really deep, and it gets really, really tough. And it can lead to more sadness, because you're having to deal with things. But remember, at the end result, the end result is going to be better for you. Yeah, because you got this card here, which is telling me that you've gotten really, really, really in the bottom of the pit. You got to be careful about that bottom of that pit, okay? And we all, I don't say, I would think the majority of us that have lost somebody, we get into that pit. It's real easy for us to fall into it, because it's, we miss them, right? We miss that loved one. We want to see them. We want to, hear their voice. We want to feel them. But like I always try to tell people, you have to look at death as, it's just like a different way of communicating now. You haven't lost the person. You can still access that person. A piece of their energy is always going to be with you. So you need to embrace that and enjoy the fond memories, and not just focus on the sad, because that's where it puts you in that pit. And this pit, I know, because I was in this pit bad things happen when we stay in this pit. And you don't have to stay in it. This is where, you know, people get to the desperate stage of things, and I don't want you to be there. So you're going to have to pull out of it. And I would ask them for assistance in helping you. It's going to take a lot of courage. A lot of courage. It's not easy pulling yourself out of that, because I mean, once you get way down in there, it's just really hard to, you know, to get the motivation to come out. But you have it, or you wouldn't be here right now. You wouldn't have connected with me, right? Just because the spirits want you to know, and so do your parents. It's both of them, correct? What am I? Hang on, let me. I just feel a mixture of energy. You've lost both parents, correct? Let me change this. Yes, okay. So, when we've lost both parents, it really, it's a double or stickler, right? Because it's a lot to go. It's a lot. But you do know that they're right there with you. Yeah, because your mom shows me she sits by you at night and caresses you. Do you ever feel like something's on your arm, or like something's, you know, you just have to move? Something's right there. You do feel that? Can you let me know? Say, yes, I feel that. Or no, I don't feel that. Yes, I do. The reason why I say that is because that's her caressing you. Okay. Alright, and your dad just kind of stands on the back, in the back, and just kind of watches your mom. Your dad is like telling you to just let it go. What is it that you guys are fighting so bad about? Because he's saying let it go. He's saying let it go. You smell coffee a lot? It's funny you were going to say that, because I was just going to ask you. Because you've got to let that. He doesn't want you jacking with it anymore. It's not worth it anymore. He says, I always told you that that you're different. Did he always tell you that you're different? Did he always tell you that you're different? He's telling me that. He says, I've always told her that she's different. Is that correct? That's okay. I mean, you can't make people talk to you, right? You can't make people, you just can't make people do anything. All right, well, he says that you need to be different. You need to, no, I'm sorry. Okay. He's saying you need to continue being different. You need to continue being different. And so that means that you need to deal with this situation by not letting it. It really has got you depressed. Is that what he said to you, though? Because that's what he's telling me, that he told you that you're special. Not like in special in a bad way. Like you're different than your sisters, and so you need to overcome this. Chicken pot pie. Chicken pot pie. Chicken pot pie, but don't like the peas and carrots? What is that? That's kind of the way I like my chicken pot pie. Chicken pot pie, but don't like the peas and carrots. This is, he knows I understand what it is, yes. Does that mean anything, the chicken pot pie? And you know something else I'm seeing? That's you that don't like the peas and carrots. Because this is going to be, this is one of those moments that I always tell people, you know, that people say, well, what advice do you give a new reader? Say whatever comes, you know, whatever you see, say it. So this is one of these moments that you're like, okay, I'm going to say it, but... So I'm seeing a plate with the chicken pot pie. And it has peas and carrots. And I see him flicking the pea off. I see him flicking it off, like to get rid of it. Flicking it off. Does that ring a bell for any reason? Because there's a reason why I'm seeing that. It's kind of funny. That's his way of letting you know that he can verify that you're here. Flicking it off. That's so funny. Did he ever do little silly things when your mom wasn't looking? I'm kind of getting that he's like a little... He was a fun dad. I feel like fun energy from him. Yeah. That would be ornery. Yeah. Is that kind of what he would be like? It's kind of ornery? That's a good word. Ornery. Like your mom didn't see everything that he would do. Yeah. Okay. Well, that's him verifying that he's here with you, okay? So it's important for you to embrace that, okay? And ask for him to help guide you. Because, like I said, it's going to take courage. And then your last card is peace. So this is what's going to bring you peace. It's not that the argument's going to be fixed, because it's not. Okay? No, not everything. Oh, I forgot what I said for you to say that. With two of them, it's going to fix. With one of them, it's not. Okay? So you're just going to have to, there's 3 of them, 4 with you, right? because that's what I feel is 3 energies. I know you said 4, but I want to say you make the 4th. Is that correct? Right now, it consumes you too much. Okay. It consumes you too much. So just let's work on not letting it phase us anymore, because it's really pushing you deep, and you don't want to fall deep into that hole. 3 of us agree. Okay. Okay, well then that's why, because I say 2 is okay, but 1 is not. Just accept that, and just, it is what it is. Sometimes it's just, it is just what it is. I mean, I know that sounds kind of condescending, but that's not how I mean it. It's just, it's a reality. It is, you know, what it is, and you can't change people. This is what's going to bring you peace. And then, you know, sooner or later, whether it's on this, while she's alive on this planet, or when she goes home, she's going to have to come to, you know, come to terms and get over it. So, but for now, you just love her from a distance and know that that's okay. Your dad's right there with you. He's on your side. But he wants you to, because you're more affected by it than she is. You're the one falling deep into the pit behind it. Okay? So, but it's going to take courage to keep us out of here. To keep us out of here, because we don't want to be in here. This is like the bottom pit. Because you need to go through your awakening. You need to do what you need to do for yourself to get growing in it and getting on your spiritual journey, so you can get back to what you know, working on yourself and your, you know, your dreams and things that you need to accomplish, because he's right there rooting you on. Both of them are, but your mom's very quiet. Your mom hasn't said nothing but just show me, you know, when you're sleeping. But your dad is the honoring one that kind of has given me all the information. But this is what's going to bring harmony and balance back to yourself, and just keep yourself aware. Know that, you know, it is what it is, and just accept it. And then that way you can do, you know, better things, because otherwise it's just going to tear you up. And you don't want that, because you don't deserve it. Your dad says. You're special, he says. So you can handle this. You're special and you can handle this, he says. You're the one of the daughters that can handle this better than any of them. That was really awesome. Can't believe he showed me flicking peas and carrots off a plate. Oh, but that's his way of letting you know that he's here. I mean, that validation of the peas and the carrots and the... Yes, you can. Yes, I am live now, honey. You can always tell by that little box over in the left-hand corner. If you see it, it says live, then it is. You're very welcome, my dear. My pleasure. Did anybody else donate before we, let me go over here. If you guys that I read for, if you could kindly leave me feedback on my wall, I'd greatly appreciate it. Pretty please. Man. I'm so mesmerized by this. I can here I can see in, here I can see, here I can see. Over here, here's a big old spot that I can see. I mean, I have a candle right next to it. And I can see things in there. It's so crazy. Does anybody else do that? Does anybody else ever? Is there any crystal ball readers in here? It's not really a ball though. All right. Does anybody else want to donate before? Oh, Christina, did you want me to read? I can read for him. Yes. Oh, you didn't see. I didn't get it. It was a gift. I forgot to tell you. I've been sleeping in with it for the last couple days. I got it the day before yesterday. And there's a portal. And then there's fractals in there. And then there's tons of rainbows. But there's different little entryways on here. It's so cool. But I thought, I didn't realize it, but it was a gift. I mean, someone bought this for me, which is really cool because I really wanted it. So it's really cool. You knew about it? I didn't, and I was like, I text Jessica, and I was like, oh my, you know, I promise I'll work really hard and get this paid off. She said, oh honey, it's not me. And I didn't ask her if she wanted me to, you know, blurt out who did it, but oh, I know, because I saw it gone. Guys, this was on her live, right? And it's been on there for a while. And I just always gaze at it and stare at it when I'm watching her live. And I talked to her about me getting it. But you know, it's expensive. This was not cheap at all. And it's definitely nothing I could just pay out of pocket right away. And anyway, I saw she said, well, we might be able to work something out. Let me think about it. And she said, I don't know, Tanya, it's a lot of money. And I was like, okay. And then I went on the next live and it was gone. It wasn't in its normal spot. And I was like, oh my God, someone got it. She said, no, I put it up. But yeah, I've been sleeping with it, and I'm starting to see a little bits and pieces here and there. Because I always gaze off anyway. I don't know if you guys notice, but when I'm connecting, I always gaze off. I know, it's so awesome that, I mean, I'm really blessed. I've been blessed with some really nice gifts. You know, God has shown me some really wonderful people. That's why I always tell people, don't give up. There's more good people than what we give credit for. We just notice the bad because there's more of the bad, right? We hear, not that there's more of the bad, let me correct that. We just hear more about the bad, but it's not that the bad, there's more bad than good. It's just, good news doesn't sell anything, does it? Good news doesn't get anybody's attention. We're so accustomed to drama and negativity that's what we got to hear to get our attention. We hear something negative, we're like, oh, what was that? That's why good news doesn't ever make the evening news, does it? Yeah. I know, I see her, a lot of her. I'm going to get a believer one day, too. I really want a believer. Because I do the chakra surgeries with my pendulum. Alright. Yeah, so I'm very blessed. I didn't ask the lady that got it if I could say who got it. So I didn't want to say anything without her permission. Because some people don't like to be put out there, you know. Because there are some people that would try to take advantage of people. Alright, I can read him if you want. Is he right there? I'll do my... Guys, y'all don't... and I'll take a picture of it too, so that we all have it. Then you guys can see what one of my spreads are. Okay. All right. Is he on the live? Can he jump on his profile so he can respond to me? This music just so freaking awesome, don't you think, guys? Oh no, I know. I'm at just him. Okay. Hello, hello. Ah, I blew out my candle. All right. Okay. So here is, let me pull out the clarifier. Are you talking about from earlier, Casey? I mean, Christina? Oh, sorry. Is that what we're talking about? Okay, I see. All right. Okay. Yes, ma'am. Let me do a butterfly. And then let's do one of these. All right, my friend. Okay, is he on? Are you on, my friend? Yes, I see that. I got you. But is he on? You're welcome. I need to know that he's on the... Okay. Is he on his profile so he can respond to me? Or is he going to be typing from you? Just so I know where to keep my focus. Okay. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna do your reading, and I've got it broken down. Okay. Your first card is going to be your. For those of y'all that haven't seen, this is one of my spreads that you would get like if you booked me privately. This is a smaller version of it, but it's still pretty big. And I'll take a picture of this, and I probably should here. No, I'll take a picture at the end, and I'll send it to you. Okay, the first card is releasing. All right, so it's very. Oh no! Whoa! Back up. Your very first card is what your desires. Okay, this is the ultimate card, right? This is internal light of love. This means that we want it all. We want the whole enchilada, right? We want the love, the life, the security. We've got God here, Christ consciousness. We've got Mother Earth. We've got numerology. We got the zodiac. We got the, of course, the universe. It is like everything all connected. This is our goal. This is what we want in life. To be, see the angel right there, the archangel, the power of the archangel, the power of the storm, the power to control life and have life the way that, the way that we want it. We want a happy, carefree life. Who doesn't, right? But you truly desire to have like that home, that family, the whole thing. But there's some blocks. So I'm going to go over your blocks, and then we'll go over what you can do to unblock it. The first one is releasing. So that's just telling me that you have a hard time expressing how you feel, sharing your thoughts. I mean, you'll share some of it as long as it doesn't go too deep. But unfortunately, that doesn't count. You want to go deep. Especially when in a relationship, when y'all are sharing and talking. You have very pleasant energy, so it's not no machoism or anything like that. It's just really basically not wanting to show a softer side sometimes. Unfortunately, this is really bad, because whenever we feel something, it's very important that we feel it instead of suppress it, because when we suppress it over time, it's going to eventually come out, and it usually comes out the wrong way or in the wrong format, or most of the time even on the wrong person. So it's really important, even if we have to excuse ourselves and go off to ourselves for a minute, we have to feel things as they come, and allow ourselves to feel it and embrace it, and then let it go, right? But for you, just releasing in general is not something that you're really comfortable with. But it's important. That's the only way. If you look at the picture, everything around him is dead. There's no growth, and that's what happens. Excuse me. That's what happens when we don't release things. We stop growing, because now we're stuffed full. It's kind of like we're full to the max. Kind of like when you go to a buffet and you eat so much you're miserable. That's how full we can get with emotions when we don't release them. So you got initiation. So this is definitely the block here is that basically believing any of this stuff. There's not much knowledge about chakras or things of that nature. So hearing all this mumbo jumbo is kind of like, well, what, is this stuff even real? Is it safe? Is it of God? Because you have a strong faith with God, which is, people need to understand that the spirituality doesn't mean that there's not a relationship with God. In fact, there's more of so, because you're not faced with that shaming God that you're just going to go to hell for every little thing that you do wrong. Yes, you have to be accountable for your actions, but love is unconditional. That's the difference between religion and spirituality, where religion focuses on conditional love, right? You can, if you do this, then you will be loved. You will be loved and accepted. Hey, Marvell, mwah, my love. Where spirituality says, you know, God, divine, Buddha, Muhammad, whatever you call him, is going to love you unconditionally. That he may not agree with your actions, but for you as a person, he's going to love you regardless, and always going to accept you. Yes, there's certain things that you have to do. You do have to be repentful. You do have to, you know, love him with all your heart. You do have to believe, you know, Jesus died. This is what I believe, okay? But I do know that regardless, as long as you go back and you feel remorseful and you are repent for what you've done to other people, then he's not going to turn his back on you. Okay, and he never really turns his back. It's more like you're kind of shunned over there until you can face your truth. So all this is like, what the hell is this woman talking about? Is this stuff even real? I will tell you right now, your chakras, well, your sacral, your solar, you've got most of your chakras, yeah, your chakra, you need to do some balancing of your chakras. You're actually going to need some chakra surgery, which, when I say that, people don't really know what I'm talking about, but that's where you go in and you kind of, see, our chakras are midpoints, right, and they're connected to organs, so they can affect our health and our mentality, and once they start getting clogged up, it's like your energy doesn't flow right, and you've got a little bit of blockage in each one of them. Your main one would be your solar and your root. But see, if you've got that blockage, it can't, because we go up, right? That's why you ground. So energy, instead of coming down like we think this way, it goes back up, right? So we're flowing up, and then it goes back down. It's like the waterfall. That's why I always use a waterfall. So your root is like your stability, you know, feeling secure. Your solar is your sex drive. Your sacral is your sex drive. Your solar is like your self-worth. Your heart is matters of the heart. Third eye is like things that you know and you can see, and then your crown is your connection with God, or divine, or whatever you call them. So these all need to be open. I mean, yours is flowing, but it could flow so much better if you took this. So that way you can get into the success, right? And that's unconditional love. The objective is to unconditionally love yourself. If you don't love yourself unconditionally, then you really can't love anybody else, because that's not real love. I mean, real love has no conditions. And it has to start with us going outward. And the problem is a lot of people aren't taught this. It's not that they're bad people and they're selfish or anything like that. It's just the way that we're taught, right? And if we're not taught unconditional love, then we're not going to know how to do it. That's why I think when you know better, you do better, right? So this is, you don't believe you can have this, right? I feel like there is some self-worth issue going on there. Like it's not deserving. Like you don't feel like you deserve it. But it's not really for you decide whether you deserve it or not. You're a child of God, so automatically you deserve it. It's a given. And then energy. This makes sense because you don't know much about this spiritual realm, but you're not doing anything that's helping protect your energy. You need to learn about the grounding. You need to learn about protecting with the universal condom. You need to do the meditation. You need to be able to clear your mind and keep a cleared mind. So these are your blocks. All right, and this is what we need to do to unblock it. Ooh, the dark night. Okay, so this is just, it's like that story in the Bible, you know, where they wrestle, I think it's Job, right? Job that wrestled wrestled the angel all night, and it ended up with a limp. It's just that we have to, and that represents, okay, even though we deal with stuff, we still may walk away with a limp or a scar, and that's okay because we did the battle. Some scars fade with time, right? And then, I mean, it may not ever be smooth again, but it fades, so you don't really feel it. And then other scars are so deep that even when you touch it, that's why the inner work is important, because then you learn which scars are what, and you learn how to handle and control them. Because you can't make things of the past go away, but you can control how much it affects you. Okay, and then you got the inner child. So with you, of course, there's that desire. Like I said earlier, there's something about self-worth there that you've got, like, not good enough. You haven't, no matter what you do, isn't good enough. You're trying to always please, please, please. That can get very draining. You need to be careful with that. There's nothing wrong with pleasing people, but it should be balanced, right? Boundaries. That's something that you don't know a lot of, is boundaries. And I would definitely, there's nothing wrong with having boundaries. Boundaries just prove that you that you love yourself. That's what boundaries do, because you teach people how to treat you, and the boundaries is what sets it up to where, you know, it's not a foolproof and you're not ever going to get hurt again, but at least people know where you stand. As a child, you didn't know this, so you were just trying to please, please, please. So now you're doing the same thing. You need to go back in there and fix the limiting beliefs that you have, because there's nothing you can do to earn your worth. There's not deeds that we can do that makes our worth. And you're going to need to trust the plan. You're going to have to trust that there really is something better for you in store, that you are worthy of being able to have it. A lot of really self-talk. You really need to watch the self-talk. That's where your problems lie, is in your self-talk. Which most of our problems lie in our self-talk. But with you, it's also with your man. I mean, it's messing with every inch of your being. Yeah, there's a lot of self-acceptance that's not there. Because when I connect, can you verify this for me, please? I'm hearing a lot of yelling. Did you listen to a lot of yelling when you were a kid? Was there a lot of yelling? Is that a communication method with your parents or something? Because I'm feeling like you yell at yourself. So you had to have learned that early as a child for you to yell at yourself like that. Are you guys still there? I don't see. I'm just waiting for him to reply. Oh my goodness. Not a lot of yelling. Because I'm hearing the yelling that you do a lot of yelling in your head. You're really hard on yourself, correct? I'm hearing yelling in your head. So do you yell a lot at yourself? But when you don't, this is my question. When let's say you're working really hard to please someone and you've been trying a lot of different things and you try something else and it doesn't work, I'm hearing yelling. You yell at yourself, like you're getting onto yourself for not. The self-talk is really loud, in other words. I guess when I say yelling, it's not like, ah! I mean, it's just like, oh, it's an overbearing type of talking. It's not mellow tone. It's like, ah! I mean, not rah, but like loud. I don't know if that makes any sense, how I'm explaining that. But that's what yeah. But you had to have learned that as a child. There's something that triggered in the first 8 years of your life that caused that. You should really find out what that is so you can go in there and deal with that issue. Because that's what is... You're afraid to have any boundaries up. Because if you have boundaries up, then you're going to... You don't want to make anybody mad. You don't want to make any problems. And you don't want nobody not to love you or reject you because of your boundaries. So there's a lot of dealing with stuff because you're afraid of being rejected. But if somebody rejects you after you've put up your boundaries for your own integrity, because integrity is a value that we place upon ourselves. So if someone does that to you, then we want them to go away, okay? Because they're not gonna help you be the best person you can be. Everybody should have boundaries, and everybody should respect each other's boundaries. And that's healthy. So, but you've got to know that you are worthy. So you're gonna have to do some work on the self-esteem. And that'll stem back to the childhood. That way you can feel more connected to God, the divine. It's not that you don't feel connected, but if there's times that you also feel like you let Him down. I think if you really truly understood what unconditional love was, and you explored that option of loving that way, you would be more fulfilled. And everything would fall into place. But it would have to start with that. So, and then your butterfly message is changing your mind. So you're kind of indecisive. You can go back and forth, back and forth. Is this correct? I mean, you might be kind of firm about something, but if somebody kind of picked at you, you would break and go ahead and change your mind. You need to not... There's nothing wrong with doing that some of the time, but all the time is not healthy. You need to stand in your center. You need to stand and be who you are, and not waver in your faith, because you can't have strong faith and not strong self-esteem. They go together. You can't have one without the other. And a lot of people don't talk about that, but it's true. You can't have strong faith and have low self-esteem, because they just work together. So just know that that should be something that you really want to kind of work on, is going in there and finding out, okay, well, this happened. I understand why I do this now. Now let me work on loving myself unconditionally so I can love others unconditionally. And then, because what happens is it pours over, so it's automatic how you feel for everyone else. It just, the love just starts flowing over, and then you won't be so hard on yourself, and you'll give not only do you give yourself unconditional love, but you need to give yourself unconditional grace and mercy, because we're not perfect. We're not Jesus. We're not God, right? So we have to be nice to ourselves when we mess up. And I'm not saying allow yourself to get away with anything. You can hold yourself accountable and not tear yourself down at the same time. Just like you wouldn't want to tear down a child for doing something wrong, right? You wouldn't want that child to feel like for the rest of their life, you wouldn't want to do that to them. So, but you're doing that to yourself. So you got to figure out how to stop that. Okay? And that will not figure out. The way to stop it is to go back and deal with that, rebuild your self-esteem and self-worth and self-love, and build up some boundaries, and then you can have healthy relationships among everyone in your life, because then you won't be worried about being a people pleaser. You will be pleasing people, but you will not lose yourself in the process. And then listening, you got the listening card. So sometimes it's really hard to listen. It takes skill to really listen, right? Because it's easy for you to sit there and be thinking about something else, or thinking about what you're going to say before the person's finished talking. But as you ground and get control of your energy, you'll be surprised at how much better you can listen, how much more you hear, different things that you can hear that you didn't even notice before. Because you don't only hear with your ears, but you also hear with vibration, right? If I started to get really pissed off, you wouldn't have to hear it to know it, but you hear it because through my actions, right? Through my vibe. So the more that you get in tune with yourself and get aligned, like I said, with your chakras and the flow, and your energy flow starts flowing, everything will kind of go into a great transition. And then whatever, because life's not going to be perfect, so it's not like no more hurricanes or anything like that. That shit's going to happen. But then you'll be more equipped to be able to handle it and have a plan of attack. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, well, this sucks. I don't like this situation right here. But you know what? I can hang. I can do this. We can get through this. Blah, blah, blah. What are our options? Let's see how we can fix da-da-da-da. Instead of, going into panic mode and so much worry about pleasing somebody. So we need to listen. And you also need to listen to yourself. Not just other people, but you need to get in tune with yourself. Because you don't even have a clue of who your higher self is. You've got your higher self, your guardian angels, you've got archangels, you've got spirit guides. You've got this whole massive football team of angels to help you play the game of life. And so you need to know who's who and what your best players are, so when certain things happen in your life, you know who to go and turn to. But you're going to have to go inward to find that kind of stuff, because if you don't go inward, you're not ever going to connect with it. Then that way you can do your own discernment. And trust me, your higher self wants nothing but the best for you. Okay? So we're going to start listening a lot better, and we're going to Try to keep our, I mean, if it's something that you need to change your mind about, fine. But being indecisive, that's where this is going to come into play. Because once you can discern within yourself, then indecisive goes away. It no longer exists. Why? Because there's no need for it. If I can discern what's right, what I want to do, and I can discern, okay, for example, I can discern, okay, do I want this? Or, well, that's not really a good example, but I can discern between the two choices, then I won't be so quick to, change my mind. Changing my mind because I'm second guessing myself. Why am I second guessing myself? Because I don't think much of myself. Why do I feel that? Because I don't love myself unconditionally. Why is that? Because somewhere way back there, you felt like you had to perform to get that love and approval, and you've been striving for it ever since. So we're gonna need to go back this way so it'll make sense. This is what we're gonna get, okay? And this, you can have this. There's no reason why you can't have it. It's there for everybody. I mean, it's there for the taking. But you're going to have to learn how to let yourself feel emotions and let them go, and express yourself and talk to your loved one, your partner, and be able to be vulnerable. It's very hard for men to be vulnerable, but it's so important to your growth. It's just stupid society has gotten it where it's like, well, the man is this and the woman's that and blah, blah, blah. And yes, we are different traits and we do different things. But when it comes to being vulnerable, we all need to be a little bit vulnerable to the right person. Not to every Tom, Dick, Harry, Sally, Sue, Jane. But there are certain times that we need to feel vulnerable, and we need to feel that so we can be authentic and be able to have that true soul connection with someone. But we're gonna, no, I got my cards messed up. That's gonna lead to success. All right. And then you will be under the waterfall of unconditional grace and mercy and love, because you're going to take the initiation. This is a block. We want to get our energy flowing. Once you do that, honey, you will start feeling like a whole lot better physically and mentally, because then you're going to learn how to control your energy. We're going to dance in the dark. That means that we're going to go in the shadows. We're going to go deal with our shadows. We're going to deal with our inner child, because you have to deal with the inner child first, because that's where the shadows developed. The shadows developed while your inner child was being developed. And then trust the plan, that you have a good plan, that God has something good in store for you. Keep the faith and keep your connection, and know that your love, His love for you is unconditional. It's not based on your actions. Psh. That was deep. I hope that resonated. I'm just seeing a little boy that really desired to be noticed and approval. Sometimes, you just can't never get what you're really wanting. And we have to just accept that. You know what I mean? Sometimes we can't ever get that parent or that person we wanted's approval. And that's okay. We can, sure. Sure can, Keith. Do you really love it? I know that, that was deep. Alright, let's do a group reading. Let somebody else, what's going on with your sister? That was deep, buddy. That was really deep. You know what I also thought about doing for you guys when I upload the videos? Those that I read, I can put your name and then put the timestamp. So that way, because if I put it up on YouTube, my videos, then you will always have access to it. And then when you want to go look at it, you can, instead of watching the whole thing, you can go to that spot. That's what I was thinking about doing from now on my, the ones that I upload from here on out. Because I do it with the mediumship ones. But just an idea. Can you tell me what's going on with your sister first while I get these cards ready? Thank you so much for letting me tap into your energy and read you. I know that's not really your thing, so I really appreciate. You were very accepting to me, so I appreciate that very much. Good. Hey, Rochelle. I didn't see you. I get in my zone and I was seeing I saw you as a little boy in the skull. But I don't want to dip too much into that until there's that one. Butterfly. Keith, I was waiting for you to tell me, for your, sister. We'll be happy to pray. Guys, anytime you need prayer or anything like that, that's what the group is about, okay? The group is, it's a support group, right? Alright, thank you. I'm glad that you enjoyed it. Yeah, I get in the zone, boy. I just zone off. Alright, let's do this group reading. Ready? Oh, so I didn't finish what I was saying. The group is a learning development support group. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Teeth pulled. Ooh, that's painful. Yes, we'll definitely pray for it. Anytime you guys need prayer, I've even thought about making like a prayer chain each week. So that way, I mean, you guys can ask for that and ask for questions and stuff. That's what the group is for. Right? We're all walking down this path. Okay. We're all walking down this path, right? So nobody knows everything, and we can always learn off of each other, and we can always support each other. Because I say welcome to the tribe, and I say that for a reason, because to me, you guys are my tribe. And when I say tribe, you guys know I'm Native American, so your tribe is your blood. And not necessarily blood as in sangre, like real blood, like blood in your, your heart. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, honey. I am too. That's really, I'm hoping I can get myself out of it. Ah, there you go. Yes, because we are all one. At the end of the day, we are our one. What happens to you affects me. And speaking of prayer, guys, we really need to be praying about that Amazon situation. I don't think you guys really understand the implications and the impact that that's going to have on the world. If that is, I haven't looked today, but does anybody know the update on that? Because that right there will, we won't be able to come back from that. That's just something that you can't come back from. Does anybody know that, aw, you're sweet, Christina, thank you. Is it still burning? Does anybody know? I haven't. Yeah, they're the lungs of our world. It's really, really important. And see, here's how screwed up technology is. I type in Amazon Fire, and you know what it gives me? Amazon to buy the Fire Stick. Think about that for a second. That's putting in Amazon, and it's talking about the stick, and it's not even talking about the other side of the world, you know? That's crazy. But we do need to pray for that. So when I get off here, I'll make a little prayer chain, and then anybody can chime in and give prayer, okay? So how about that? Well, I'll yeah, please check, because I want to know the status of that. I haven't looked this. I should have looked before I came on. I had my grandson today, and I hadn't had him all week, and so, you know, it's a big day, the first day back. We play so much. I don't get any work done. I will put a prayer chain up in the group. And then if there's somebody there that you're going to pray for, I want you guys to do me a favor and make a comment and say, I'm praying, or prayed, or something, so that way that person knows that you supported them. So I'll make it like a little prayer post, and then you guys can put prayer requests in there. And then if you guys make a prayer for somebody or anything like that, or you send healing or whatever the case may be, then I want you to put it in there, okay? Sound like a good idea? Yeah. I mean, when I think about it, I literally get sick to my stomach because of the life that's going to be lost behind that. And we're not just talking, you know, plants and trees. We're talking animals and indigenous people, and I mean, it's crazy. Oh. Okay, I did have another. Let me check something real quick. Okay, I got you, my dear. Well, this is our group reading, so I already have that pulled. I'm going to put that over to the side. And then I'll do yours. Can you give me your name? Yeah, I'm sorry, baby. I didn't see it. I was on my own little zone. Can't tell if it is. Okay. I know, they're making it so hard to find out information about it. It's so stupid. It really kind of pisses me off, actually. If you want to know how I really feel. It pisses me off. Okay. Alright, sweet dreams, baby. Thank you very much. So if anybody donates from here on, it'll go for tomorrow, okay? This will be my last paid, and then I'll do the group reading. All right. Blessings. Blessings, blessings, blessings. It's important to not only give blessings, but to receive blessings. You've got to know that it's okay to, if someone's trying to help you, then you need to be able to accept that. Because what can sometimes happen, let's say somebody's in their heart, they're led to help you, right? And then you say, oh no, I don't need it, no. And then you refuse it. Well, then you just mess that person's opportunity to bless, because they were led by God or Spirit or whatever they believe in to bless you. So when you turn it away, it turns away their blessing. Does that make sense? Blessing each other, paying it forward, helping the next person out. That's what this is all about. That's what really life should be about. Because if you're working on that, then karma is always going to come back to you. Good karma is always going to come back. Even when the shitty people take from you and you get hurt, your intention was good. So that's what's important. That is what you'll be judged on. Okay, so just like in this picture, do you see how she's growing? She's spreading out. That's what you will do too when you follow your blessings and allow yourself to be blessed. But we're going to have to raise our thoughts. We're going to have to raise our vibration. Thoughts are on a little bit of the lower end. I'm feeling some negativity, like can't say the word, skepticism. Is that the right word? Can't say the right word, skepticism. Very skeptic. Is that correct? And there's nothing wrong with that. As long as you don't stay in that mind frame. That's part of our defense mechanism, right? Is to be a little skeptic of things. It protects us a lot of times. But sometimes we become too cynical when we are, that way with everything. It kind of turns that's kind of like me, I'm a reader on so many pages. I'm an improved reader, right? And I work with tons of great readers and some not so great. But they always talk about reading people, and I don't go in and read people just like right away. Like I meet them and then I read them, because one, I didn't get their permission. They're not allowing me into that mind frame, and that's kind of abusing my ability. And two, it would just make me cynical, right? I would be judging everybody. Everything would be based on judgment, and that's exactly what's wrong with the world. That's exactly what's wrong with everything. Is everything's judged. Everything has a judgment. And so you've got to raise your thoughts and not be like that. You need to stop thinking that the person is of ill intent until you've been shown that. Because sometimes, remember, the universe is going to bring what your thoughts are, not what you say. You can say there all day long is, I want a job. Okay, here's a good example. I want a job. So you're saying you're going to manifest it, say, I'm getting me a job. But in your mind, you're like, I'll never get a job. Man, there's no good jobs out there. And I'll get a job and it'll be a sucky job. And all this stuff playing over in your head. Well, the universe doesn't dictate what's right or what's wrong for you. So it's going to give you whatever it is that you're thinking. That's why, you know, sometimes people say, well, I can't believe I can't find a decent person, or I can't do this, or I can't do that. Why? Because you obsess on what you can't, so that's what you're getting. That's why you need to raise your thoughts to a higher level and get out of that thought process. Let go. When you feel something, let it go. Don't suppress it. You know, because then that's what you cause infections. Feelings, if you suppress them, is like a freaking disease, and it'll end up getting infected, and it'll ooze out, and it'll come out, and you'll express it wrong at the wrong time on the wrong person. You'll hurt people that you don't mean to hurt, all because you suppress some feelings. So go ahead and feel what you need to feel, and then just let it go. Just keep your intent positive. That's what's important. Intent is everything. You know, even if you fuck up, if your intent was good, then you're going to be judged on your intent. Okay? Some people do some of the nicest things in the world, right? But their intent is malice, or it's ego-based. You know, somebody could, you know, don't make a ton of donations to this charity or whatever, and then they're all high and mighty. Oh, I do this and I do that. So their intent is on ego, you know, being ego-based, you know, fulfilling, conceited. Well, that everything that they did just got ruined because of that. Everything's in the mind, which gets you to here. Okay. This is a really good card to get of the three. You know, we always have Mr. Ego in our head. That's the guy talking you out of everything. But then you have Mr. Fear, and he has two buddies, doubt and distrust. So if you let fear set long enough and you dwell on it long enough, it will grow a couple little arms called doubt and distrust. And then they will dictate everything in your life. And you'll be, to some degree, some people get, you know, paralyzed. So that's why some people don't even leave their house, right? Because they're just paralyzed with fear. This right here is showing that you can break free. So you've got the three. You got fear, doubt, and distrust, and then you've got it going upward. So it'd be real easy for you to do the work and break free. But this is a better of the three cards that I have. Because see right here how she's naked and she's like in this position. It's not to be a pervert. It's that she's liberated. That she don't give a fuck. She is finally free. She can be who she is. There's no ties. There's no restrictions. There's nothing. She's completely broken free from her trap. But in order to do that, you're going to have to take the steps. This stuff just doesn't happen. You have to do the work. Nothing happens for nothing. There's always a cost in everything. And then remember to be playful, okay? Don't be so serious all the time. Also enjoy life, because you don't know if you have tomorrow. So enjoy today. Play. Have fun. Take the next step so you can break free from your fears. Keep your intent positive regardless of how mad somebody, even if that person really does something shitty to you, you stand firm in who you are, stand in your center, and don't be mean back, because you're going to let go of those feelings. You're not going to let that keep you, because you've raised your thought process. It's at a higher balance. And that's going to bring more and more blessings to you, and you'll be able to bless more people. Blah, blah. Goodness gracious. These ones I don't want to get messed up, so I'm going to take a picture. Woo! I hope that resonated, my love. Did that resonate? Did that help? And I wish I could show you guys what I see in there. So crazy. And there's like a split in the middle. So crazy. Okay, good. That's right. Tomorrow's not promised. All right, here we go. Here's our group reading. Okay. Remember, we have to be what we want. You can't have a faithful boyfriend or wife or girlfriend or husband if you're not. You can't have happiness if you're not happy. You can't have love if you don't have self-love. You can't have peace if you're not going to give peace, right? If you're going to stay in negativity. So you have to be what you want. You have to, as long as you work on being what you want, then the universe will draw to you what it is that you need and what you want, because you have the power to make your life however you want. A lot of people look around and they say, fuck, I'm stuck, man, I can't do nothing about that. But that's not true. I mean, you have the power to do anything you desire. You can do anything, you can go anywhere. I mean, I'm not going to say it's easy. I'm not saying it's easy. And I'm not going to say that it'll happen like on a dime. I'm just saying it can happen. And you have the power to do that. You just got to keep growing. Always keep growing. Just like the flower. See how it blooms? Well, there'll come a time that those petals will fall. But it's okay. As long as you're taking care of the soil, this flower will bloom again. So it's really important that you know that, you know, when the tough times come, they just come. But you know, focus on the good times. And you'll pull through the bad times. And just keep your mind going. Keep reading, keep learning, keep that mind going. A lot of times people just stop learning. Hell, most people don't even pick up a book and read a book anymore. Always got to get that mind, the wheels turning. That will help some of you that desire to speak with your angels. That's what's going to help you get there. It's going to bring about all kinds of spiritual knowledge. You're going to be able to learn a whole bunch more things because you open your mind. Don't be closed-minded. Remember that everything that you feel and think right now has been a condition for you. So when you break free from the condition, I'm not saying you lose everything about your identity. There'll be pieces that you want to keep, but you'll be surprised at how much you let go of. All right? And then you're stronger than you know. So you have, just like with the power card, it's the same thing. It's saying you can do it. If you really want it, then it can be done. And then love. It's all about love. Remember that that's what energy is. You know, that's what we are. This is just a shell. This will all fade away and we will be a ball of energy. And that's what's important to remember, because that's what's going to be, that's what the pieces that you leave with people is like a little break off of your energy. I mean, it's all about love, but it has to start with yourself. You have to love yourself unconditionally. So you have to love you before you can love me. If you can't love you, then you're not really ever going to love me. You're only going to love me as long as I do what you want me to do. Loving somebody, truly loving somebody, is looking outside of their behavior. Regardless of what their behavior is, you separate the behavior from the person, because the behavior isn't always the person, right? And even if it's really fucked up behavior, you can still separate and still love that person and keep that person afar. They don't have to be near you. But your love should never change. You don't fall out of love. You don't fall in love. You grow in love. You fall in and out of infatuation. But why? Because it's sex. It's new, right? You're getting a piece of ass. You're trying all different new things with a new person. Of course it's going to be exciting and escalating and, you know, wonderful. But that's because it's new. But that's just a glimpse. That shit will fade. You're stronger than you know. You're going to learn some more spiritual things as long as you keep your mind up and learning, right? If you're interested about a subject, go research it. Don't just wait for somebody like me. I mean, you can ask me, but, you know, I don't know everything either. I'm learning too. I'm constantly learning. So, I mean, it's important for you to do your research, so you can hear your angels, so you can keep growing and expanding, because you have the power to be whatever you want to be. Remember, you have to be what you want. If you want it, then you got to be it. Psh. There you go, guys. What do you think of that one? All right. I'm glad I didn't wear no makeup tonight. I've been rubbing on my face. You guys will notice sometimes I'll go through phases where I always have makeup on, and other times I'll go without makeup. I don't care. Alright, so here's the deal. I'm going to keep working with this thing. And keep sleeping with it. I'm so excited because I was able to see, when I was reading earlier, kids playing in here. So that was kind of cool. I will be on tomorrow during the day, several times during the day, because I'm trying to also catch New Zealand, Australia, and the UK. So I will be doing some readings early in the morning on live. So if you want to catch me, then you can. Tomorrow night is new moon, so I'll be doing that free 27 card spread. And remember, I have a post in the Collective Source and the Awakening. Go in there and post 2 things, just 2 things, guys, because there's a lot of people. Post 2 things that you want to manifest. We're going to talk about manifesting things, and then we'll burn them, and then we will do our reading. If you want to get a reading for the new moon, you can too. I'll take donations, but I would like that to be done like right at the beginning of the show, so that way we can know how much time we have, okay? Alright, well, thank you very much for letting me hang out with you guys and letting me tap into your energy. I greatly appreciate it. Namaste. Hasta luego. Dios quiere. I'll see you later. God willing. Oh, and if you would like to book a session, please go to TanyaLee.com, okay? Please come check out Intent is Everything, guys. That is shadow work, inner child work. I mean, I'm not saying it's not done somewhere, because it probably is, but I don't know of any readers that do all that together. This is a completely different type of program. I mean, I completely created this program. I went to all different kinds of things, and I took a little bits of this, and a little bit of that, and a little bit of this. And what happens is I sit down with you, and you give me some information, and then we just work through it. And Spirit will tell me what you need to do. And my spirit guides, your spirit guides, the angels will all conquer whatever this issue was. Alright? So that way you can have the best. My goal is to have you guys love yourself unconditionally. That's my goal. And then if you want to tap into your own skills and be able to read, that's your business. But I never want to make anybody dependent upon me. You know what I mean? Because you guys have... I don't have anything that you don't have. We're both the same. I just tapped in. Alright, so love you guys. Namaste. Hasta luego. Adios.